Hello and welcome to Sudoku Adventure. In lieu of your usual ranks, you have me, Zeta Math, today. That is because today's puzzle is set by Rangsk, and this is the 950th adventure puzzle, which is absolutely insane. Coming right up on 1,000, which is awesome. I think I have done set maybe 4 of them. So I'm behind on my quota, but we'll get going and try and solve this Rangsk puzzle, which it's not quite perfectly symmetric, but this is a thermo puzzle. So the only clues in the grid are these thermometers, which are supposed to start on the cold end and work towards the hot end, like a real thermometer, kind of. And so the digits have to get strictly larger as you move from the bulb end towards the tip. So I guess the strictly doesn't really matter in this puzzle because although there are some diagonal thermos, I couldn't ever put like a 3 and a 3 here anyway because I'd be repeating the 3 in the box. So basically, that number is strictly bigger than that one, for example. Okay, so there's a link down in the description if you want to give it a go. Now I am going to give it a go. So the thing I'm inclined to notice concerns that this digit, whatever it is, definitely goes in one of these two cells. And we have the same thing happening over here. But I don't know if that's actually very interesting. So I might instead good lift the length for thermos. And so what that means is I know if you think about it, what's the smallest this number can be? Well, 1, of course. But the largest it can be is actually 3 sitting here in the bulb of the thermo, because if I try and make it bigger than 3, I run out of digits before I run out of thermo, right? So if I try to make this a 4, then I have to make this at least 5, 6, and then, and so this number can only actually be 1, 2, or 3. Likewise, these are 2, 3, or 4. And you can sort of march this up 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6, just looking at these. I do notice that gives me a like 1 can only go in in 2 spots within this column, kind of thing. I see. 6 is placed in column 2. That is, I think, what's happening here. Because you can't put 6 in either of these cells. I don't have to good lift this one in order to tell you that you can't put 6 here, because that would immediately price you into telling me a digit larger than 6 to put here, which I am not allowed to do. And so within this column, the only digit, and all the others are marked, the only one that can be 6 is that one. If I had marked this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would be saying I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple in the column. And so these numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in some order, and that's a 6. Whichever way makes you happiest. You can think of it that way. So that 6 looks over into this box and tells me that, well, one of these 2 digits is 6, but it's not that one for similar reasons, because I'd need to put a 7 or something higher there. So that digit's a 6. What am I doing with this 6? I'm not quite sure. I was curious if in column 5 I could do something similar but with 1s. But I can't. I know that 6 is in one of these 2 cells, if I think about it. How did I never mark this cell as being 4, 5, 6? I don't know. I see. Okay, yes. There's also, this is probably actually much better than the 6 thing, honestly. These are a quadruple, or if you prefer, you can also think of it as these are all not 1 and 2, so these 2 cells are a 1, 2 hidden pair, which feels like it's the real break-in of the puzzle. It's funny, I was just moments ago, let's see if I can pull this up So literally just before I was recording this, I set this thermo puzzle where the break-in is intended to be that because of these thermos on the side, I can't put 1, 2, 3 in these cells because that's at least 4, and the same is true of that. So the intended break-in here was that these are a 1, 2, 3 hidden triple. It's almost identical to what's happening here, except this is the 6x6 version, so I've got a 1, 2 hidden pair instead. Now, I need to ask where 1 and 2 are going to go in this box, because now none of these cells can be 1 or 2. So if this cell is a 3, I notice that means that this cell's a 4, and I certainly am not putting 1 and 2 into this box. So, I mean, this is the tiniest elimination that humankind has ever seen. But I can't make that a 3. Let's see. And I guess maybe I should also say, yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, that is it. It's actually, I guess it's not actually going to do anything because this would have been true even regardless. But this digit, it can't be a 3 because if it was a 3, it would force these to go 3, 2, 1, which would break this cell here. So that doesn't work. So this digit's not a 3. But now, where is the 3 in this box? It only goes here. That's very nice. I like that this puzzle is very well set up to sort of introduce some of the thermo deductions. Okay, so let's update our pencil marks carefully. So now this is at least a 2, so this can't be a 2 anymore. This is at least a 4, so this can't be a 4 anymore. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so and now this is at least a 4, so now that can't be a 4. If you prefer, by the way, you're more than welcome to say that 4 is corner marked in one of these two cells and looks over at that cell, so this isn't a 4, and you'd end up in a similar place. That also, though, gets you that this isn't a 4 anymore. So we have that. Let's see. Okay, so the 1 now in column 6, we can chase a little bit because it goes up in one of those two cells, and so it's there. The 2 in column 5, we can actually place with Sudoku using the fact that we've got a 1, 2 pair here and a 2 here, making that a 2. So that 2 is going in one of these two cells. Do I know that's not a 2? I don't feel like I know that's not a 2, but it's very possible that some of you do. I do see that in this row, I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple, so everything left is 1, 2, 3, which gives me a 1, 2, 3 triple in this box, which makes this a 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, this digit now is at least 4, because the 1 and the 2 in the box are gone. That's very neat. So this is at least 4, because this is at least 3. So this is at least 4, which I just filled in so that I could say this is a 4, 5, 6 triple, or a hidden 3 within the column if you prefer. It's the only place where 3 can go in column 5. Okay, so now these are 2, 4, and 5 as my remaining digits running across here. These are 1 and 3 as my remaining digits running across here. I'm looking at 2 in this column and trying to decide if something goes wrong if I don't make this a 2. Well, something definitely goes wrong if I don't make this a 1, so let's start there. If this is not a 1, then these numbers are all at least 3, just by pencil marks. And so that's 5 numbers that are at least 3. There aren't 5 numbers. As a mathematician, I can swear to you, in the entire universe, there are not 5 numbers that are at least 3. So that doesn't work. So this is certainly a 1, and that's a 3, at the very least. Which actually gets me this 1, 2 pair looking across here, which makes that a 3. which seems to look down and make that a 2, which now I'll skip doing a little bit of the sphenage just to point out that now the 2 in column 1 does get bumped over here, which is what I was sort of trying to intuit, but I think it was the wrong thing for me to try to intuit. Okay, so now this is only a 1, so that's a 2. That's a 2 and a 1. Okay, so this is not 1 or 3, so this is at least 4, which actually means this cell can't be 4 either. Where's the last 1 in the grid? It seems to go here. Let's see. Okay, so we've got all of those. Okay, this seems like it can be basically anything as far as I can tell. These are a 4 and a 5, so I'll write 4 and 6 in them to extend the view length. Let's see. These are 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is a 4, 5, 6, and this is a... Well, I know one of these two is a 3, but I don't think I know immediately more than that. So something is going on. Someone will have spotted that there's a thermo somewhere where I currently have something marked that's transparently impossible, but I don't see it immediately. If this is a 4, then that's a 5, 6. If this is a 5, that's a 4, 6. If this is a 6, that's a 4, 5. All of those universes sound legit to me. I know one of these two is a 4. Let's see. It's not about like where... Yeah, the 6 in this column goes in one of these two. I see it. Okay. This is an X-Wing. It's funny. I set a puzzle with this pattern, but for adventure, but I think it was a little too hard. But this is a sneaky X-Wing. So let me explain what is happening here in the world. If I look in column 1, where can 6 go? And I've marked in yellow the 2 places in column 1 that I believe 6 can go. And in column 6, I've marked the 2 places I believe 6 can go. And the thing I would like you to take away from this is actually something about row 3 and row 6. And so the way this is usually phrased is that because the 6s in columns 1 and 6 are in rows 3 and 6, the opposite is also true. The 6s in row 3 and 6 are in columns 1 and 6. Right. And so you can sort of flip-flop those, and that's because I know that in this row and this row there's 2 6s, and I know that in those 2 rows in yellow, there's 2 6s, so therefore that's all the 6s. Okay, and the point of all of this is that none of those cells can be 6. That seems not to be very helpful, and if you're worried I've made a grave error, well, fear not, I'm slightly worried about that too. But also down here, none of these can be 6, and that does seem to get me something quite powerful, which is that this is a 5, a 4, and a 3, a 5, and a 4, and a 6. Okay, and so now that is going to unravel the world. That is a very elegant X-Wing there. It was a very nice puzzle there. I liked that one a lot. So thank you for joining me on today's adventure. That's a very cool puzzle, Rangsk. That was a little bit tricky, but a very nice kind of tricky for my taste. And at least it's nice and symmetrically set up. Like, I really like the way that this is sort of set in the grid. It was certainly not something. Is there any way... I was going to ask myself if there's any way I was supposed to see that as my first step instead of my last step. I don't think so. Because it's not like I was like, maybe there was some sort of like crazy thing like a swordfish or something. But if I look for the 6s in those columns, they end up in those places instead. I don't think so. Although I have to imagine that when Rangsk set this, he intended that this would ultimately resolve with this X-Wing. because you don't usually get this kind of pattern by accident. But anyway, very nice puzzle. I really enjoyed that. If you'd like to see stuff on my channel, there'll be a link down below, and I promise you'll have your regularly scheduled Rangsk back soon. So thanks everyone for watching. Bye for now.